You are listening to the Hodges Huddle, where we discuss all things in the wide world of sports. Here's your KLSU sports team. Welcome into the Hodges Huddle, everyone. I'm your host once again, Jaden Smith. It's good to be back. It's been a little minute since we've had one of our customary Hodges Huddle episodes. We had the John Eads interview out. Make sure you go check out that. We had the March Madness bracket. Make sure you check out that as well. But we're getting back to it today, and I'm joined by none other than William Gilreath, the vet, and we got the rookie here today, Brock McMahon. Guys, how we doing?
Yeah, don't check out that March Madness bracket video, by the way. The bracket is definitely still perfect, and we're definitely about to win $1 billion. Just don't watch the video, and you'll believe me.
I don't know what camera I'm looking at, but all right. He said that, not me. But I'm good. This is my favorite time of the year for sports.
Yeah.
Opening day, March Madness, the draft's coming around, LSU Pro Day, all that. College baseball's ramping up. This is awesome.
Yeah. Well, with that, we're going to get right into it. The talk of the hour. I awoke from my slumber this morning to a text from Will in the group chat, and it said, "Is it really happening?" I didn't know what he was talking about. And then I went and saw it for myself, and my professor even talked about it in class today, and that is the possibility of the return of Will Wade to the LSU men's basketball program. So I'm going to ask you guys, is it happening? Is it going to happen?
Yes. I firmly believe it is. Yes. Because I'm getting the same vibes as, like, the Lane Kiffin saga, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people are reporting it, so, like, why wouldn't you believe it?
Mm-hmm.
It's really interesting to me because this is literally a situation where it's like, all right, you're either bringing Will Wade back or you're going into year 5 with Matt McMahon. Like, it doesn't seem like there's a second possibility. I think it's purely like a Will Wade or bust type of feeling right now from the boosters, from the administration. Personally, I would like to see Will Wade return to LSU at some point. I think he did a great job when he was here. I think I just looked, he won like 67% of games, 3 tournament appearances. No pun intended. I'm like John Eads. Yeah, and, you know, the SEC regular season title, I think that was a really huge, a really memorable era of LSU basketball for my childhood.
Yeah.
And so, you know, the nostalgia when I think about it kind of gets me a nice feeling. But we got to remember, like, as of Wednesday, March 25th, 5:58 p.m. Central Time, Matt McMahon is still employed with LSU, and Will Wade is still employed with NC State, and Heath Schroyer is still employed with McNeese State. So none of these 3 dominoes that have to fall have fallen. So we'll see what happens. It's being reported, but I don't know.
What do y'all think that's going to do for, like, the program? We had an episode maybe a month or 2 ago, and the title of it was literally Save the Program. Because it was about the job that Matt McMahon and the roster had been, you know, putting out so far. But should we somehow get Will Wade back in the purple and gold, what is that going to do for the program? And how fast do you expect to see that change?
I think it means that there's an immediate investment coming. I don't think Will Wade takes the LSU job again, given everything that happened on his way out, and leaves NC State to come back to a program that right now is at the bottom of the SEC. It would be literally the exact same place where he started when he came the first time. Mm-hmm. I think he would have to have the guarantees like Lane Kiffin had to have with the investment that was coming into the program. So, you know, if this, regardless of what happens, whether they keep Matt McMahon or whether they bring Will Wade back, there needs to be more investment into the program in order to succeed. Mm-hmm. But if Will Wade comes, I think it's a more significant sign of, okay, there's going to be that investment. The facilities, the new arena, NIL money, all of that. I think it just means it's about to start pouring in.
I think that just really suck because not him coming back, but if you're Matt McMahon, that has to suck. You know, because you've done a lot of advocating yourself on you needing more resources and needing more funds to make this program more competitive in a conference that over the last 5 to 10 years has just become much better in basketball. than it was prior to that. And so I think it probably just feel like a shot to the chest, right?
Yeah.
If they were to give your job to the guy that they really wanted in your spot in the first place, and then they give him everything that you have been asking for.
I said it last year, and I'll say it again. Like, I don't think the reason LSU's in this situation is because of Matt McMahon. Like, I think when you look at it, he is a good coach at times. I think he could have done a much better job here had he got the support he needed. And it almost felt like no one was willing to invest in the program or support him because his name was not Will Wade, because everyone was so emotionally drawn to Will Wade. And once Will Wade left, a lot of people kind of went back into hiding. Like, look at LSU women's basketball. It had its glory days with Simone Augustus in the early 2000s and Pokey Chapman and all that. And then everyone sort of went into hiding. And then Kim Mulkey came back, and now everyone's back. Well, it feels eerily similar with LSU basketball. Like, it was back at a high with Will Wade, and he left, and no one wanted to give Matt McMahon a chance.
Yeah.
And so it is definitely unfortunate for him. And also, like, keep in mind, everyone's talking about this right now. Matt McMahon's still employed. Like, this could just be a one-day rumor, and it gets swept under the, so how does he go about that? It's just a really unfortunate situation for him and LSU as a whole.
Yeah, I think what y'all were saying about, like, why Matt McMahon has struggled here is because, like, when Will Wade came in his first year, I'm looking at right here, they went 17-13, 8-10 in the league, and they missed the tournament, but they made the NIT. So, like, you saw, like, okay, there's a rise with the program.
Yeah.
And then Matt McMahon's first year, remember all the sanctions from the NCAA? There was a postseason ban. So, like, there was no hope for that year. And they finished, I think there was 3 wins.
I think they won 2 games in the SEC
like
that
2
year.
or 3 wins that year. So, fans were, like, bought out extremely. And that was right at the same time, Jay Johnson had just been hired at LSU.
Yeah.
So, that was kind of everybody turned their attention to baseball, and people went away from basketball. So I think bringing Will Wade in, you're going to bring a lot more fans to the stadium, which is what they've been needing. Because towards the end of that season, this past year, it was getting embarrassing. Like, the amount of people. There might have been more players and staff than fans. Like, it was bad. So I think bringing him in will bring more fans and more excitement back to this program, more buy-in. Now, will they be as good? Probably not. I think if he does come, it'll be like the first year he came, 17, 15, 18 wins, NIT, and they just lost D-Dan. So, like, that's a struggle too. So he's going to have to rebuild another roster.
We spoke about this in my sports class, and we talked about, well, I guess my professor made the point of, if you're an LSU fan, like, you better, if you haven't already, you better get used to having your school and your athletics program being viewed as a villain.
Yeah.
Because if that were to happen, you'd have Jay Clark, Jay Johnson, Will Wade, Kim Mulkey, and Lane Kiffin. Like, those are all like 5 of the most prominent polarizing figures in their respective fields, all coaching at this same school. Mm-hmm. I think that just be crazy. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think it sucks that would happen before I'm getting ready to get up out of here. But going back to that DJ point, because we talked about this a little bit off air, do you guys think that this rumor had, because I know, Will, you expressed this, do you think that the rumor of Will Wade coming back had anything to do with, DJ deciding to hop in the portal?
I do in a way, and I don't know, maybe I'm delusional for feeling this way, but I kind of felt like DJ Thomas was the type of guy that understood what happened this year and would want to come back for a second year under Matt McMahon. I don't have any inside sources to say that. That's just how I feel personally. And so I kind of feel like for him and maybe a lot of these guys on this roster, like, yeah, you look at this season, it was absolutely a disappointment. But you lose Jalen Reed 6 games into the season, and you lose DJ Thomas the night on the eve of SEC play. Those 2 losses drastically changed your season, and those are 2 guys that are amping up to come back. And so I kind of felt like if those guys stayed, Matt McMahon has a lot more leverage in the situation to say, well, 2 reasons we were bad this year.
Yeah.
Because these 2 guys got hurt. And so maybe that is a sign, or maybe that's maybe like a last straw for Matt McMahon too, from a different standpoint, was, okay, we couldn't keep DJ Thomas, so what are you going to do now? I think it could mean either things, but I honestly had the feeling that DJ Thomas was going to come back for a second year under Matt McMahon, and I might be crazy for thinking that way. I don't know, but that's just how I felt.
And I also think that's one of the biggest reasons that Matt McMahon still hasn't been able to find that success that, you know, some fans have been looking for since the Will Wade days is because he hasn't really – he's been here 4 years now, and the 3 years following his first year, he hasn't really had one consistent roster. I know players a lot of times typically don't stay 4 years at an institution anyway, but I think this program is one of the biggest examples of that. Like, there's not one standout player that's put on that jersey in the past 3 years that has played or stayed with the program the following year. I think that also has a lot to do with that, Brock.
Yeah, I agree. The only guys I can think of was, like to your point, is the first year was KJ Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Then it was Will Baker. He was a one and done. Then last year was Cam Carter. He's a
Yep.
one and done. And now it's D-Dan, who's I would presumably think he's a one and done unless he comes back. I don't know.
He hit the portal today.
I know,
so,
but
yeah.
he could.
Oh, yeah,
take
yeah,
the
yeah.
out of the portal. So yeah, I think that hurt him a lot. But it was also like we talked about before, just the lack of buy-in to the program. And in a day and age of when you're paying the players, you need that. You need buy-in.
Yeah.
You need to invest in it. And I think were we the second to last or last
It was,
in roster,
mhm.
something like
Yeah.
that. So when Will Wade comes in, I promise, like I think you just said, he's gonna want to like have a significant investment. He's not gonna come
Yeah.
in for $11 million.
I also think it's worth noting too, like one of Matt McMahon's biggest strengths as a coach was like his development. He would bring guys in as freshmen and sophomores, and they'd practice year 1 and 2 under him, and then they'd turn into something great. That's what he did at Murray State with John Morant. You know, I mean, that's John Morant as well. But, you know, at LSU, you look at the freshmen he's brought in, and it's like, okay, well, he's recruiting freshmen at a pretty all right rate. They're getting a bunch of 4-stars, but they're not staying. And I almost feel like it is quite literally for him, wrong place, wrong time. Like, to be at LSU at this time, in this age of college basketball is a lot harder. And there's a chance Will Wade does come back and it stays the same. Will Wade is, I mean, it's less likely, but it very well could be, okay, well, they don't have the money to spend, so they can't keep these guys that they need to. So regardless of what happens, LSU needs to invest more in the men's basketball program.
Got that. Well, let's talk about some March Madness. We're going to get into the women's side first just because I feel like this one is a lot easier to tackle. Not as many upsets, if any, to be honest with you. The big teams are taking care of business as usual. UConn, South Carolina, Texas, UCLA, they're doing what they're supposed to do. But I guess we'll just focus on the LSU side of things. I do believe in our bracket that we had them getting all the way to the championship, actually.
Yes.
But that side of it is shaping out so far. They are set to play Duke Friday in the Sweet 16 in Sacramento. Yeah, how do we feel about that? I know we beat them earlier this year, but Kim said in the presser it's very hard to beat a team twice, and of course teams get better throughout the season. So
Yeah. I mean, there's no reason to pick against LSU the way they played the first 2 games. And I don't have it pulled up in front of me. I don't know what Duke did in their first 2, but I know it wasn't as good as LSU played.
Yeah.
Just this offense is firing on all cylinders. I mean, you have players drawing up plays that work. It's just kind of unbelievable. But it's what LSU's done really the entire Kim Mulkey era when South Carolina's on the other side of the court. So go ahead.
Duke in the first round beat Charleston 81-64, and then in the second round they beat Baylor 69-46.
I mean, those are blowouts, but like when you look at our blowouts,
Yeah.
it's kind of just like that's honestly been kind of been my measuring tool for like the women's side of things. Like, I feel like if you're a higher seed, like you want to beat that 15th, that 14th seed at least by
20, 30.
at least by 35.
Yeah.
For me to like be like impressed, like all right, you have to, because you know we beat Jacksonville and Texas Tech by a combined 112 points. Like that's pretty ridiculous.
Texas beat Oregon by like 42. South Carolina beat USC by 40. I mean,
I think they beat Southern by like 69. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
After Don Staley gifted everybody perfume,
that's
by the way.
yeah. Well, and
Not as bad as Syracuse.
that was bad.
I mean,
Oof. Yeah, that was bad. I think was that Brandon that texted the chat said
That was
like
Noah.
they had like that was Noah.
Yeah.
They had like 12 points at
Halftime.
That's.
Yeah.
sounds
then
like an intramural game.
Did you see what the Syracuse coach said after?
I did not. What did he say?
Basically, like complaining that they keep getting put in UConn's.
I would
bracket.
too.
'Cause they
I would too.
They
Yeah.
lost to them 3 years in a row in the tournament.
I mean, that's gonna happen. I
Yeah.
mean, Syracuse, New York,
Yeah,
Connecticut.
That was what
like
the argument
it's
was,
it's
comment.
yeah, man. It's you're probably gonna be in their bracket. It
Yeah.
just is what it is. Well,
I mean, I watched. I mean, you and I both worked this week, and we were there. That LSU team that played on, was it Saturday or Sunday?
Sunday.
The second game against Texas Tech. If they play like that, I feel very good about our pick to see them go all the way to the Natty. That was one of the best, if not the best, defensive efforts I've seen them play all season, given the quality of opponent they were playing. And the crazy part was, like, in the first half, offensively, they weren't playing too. I mean, they weren't playing bad, but they were kind of struggling. I think I remember there was a stretch where Michaela Williams missed maybe 3 or 4 shots in a row or something in the first half. And I was like, okay, well, they're playing so well and defensively, like this
Right.
is okay. And then in that third quarter, when they outscored Texas Tech 33-7, that was one of the craziest. I mean, that was just crazy. But I think Kim Mulkey said it, like, you want to be playing your best basketball at the right time, and I think they're starting to play their best basketball again. And with this Duke matchup, like, I was rewatching some of it. I want to say LSU started down like 14, and they were down 14-1.
the first time they played,
the
yeah,
first
I do remember
time,
that.
and
yeah.
they beat them by what?
16.
23, 13, something like that.
They were
16.
down. It's one of those things where they were up like 20, 25, and then, the team scores a few
Yeah.
gimmies at the end of the game. But yeah,
And that's just crazy to me. So I really do think LSU will beat Duke. And I think all things are pointing towards a LSU-UCLA rematch in the Elite Eight. I mean, I don't know. Minnesota just beat Ole Miss. That was a crazy game. But I mean,
Great game.
all signs point towards that. And one thing I want to ask you guys about is, like, Kim Mulkey was asked this in the presser, but do you see the gap between the top 5, 6 teams in women's basketball and the rest? Do you see it shrinking or do you see it growing?
I don't see it growing because it it was pretty bad before. I do think it is shrinking, but I think it's just it was just such a wide gap to begin with that it can be hard to. It's hard to just notice it and be like, oh yeah, I can tell like that NIL and the transfer portal is like really doing a number on women's college basketball. At least not just yet. I do think it's shrinking because that's just natural. Like it is what it is. You are gonna have more parity. But I don't think it's shrinking so much to the point where we're gonna see Cinderella runs. And
Well, Virginia
women's-
this year, though.
There you go.
But
Yeah.
when you look at everyone else, like, we have 1 seeds, we have 2 seeds that are beating 7 seeds by 58 in the Elite Eight.
I mean, that could be a bad look. Well, I guess that is a bad look, like, depending on what side of the fence you're on. But I don't... Like, Texas Tech lost that game LSU just played maybe the best game they've played this season. Like, quite literally. I don't think that was, like, just this wide talent gap. I think it just... they caught him on the right day.
Yeah. I also think the reason that it's so chalky in women's is because of the home court advantage. Like in the first.
Yes.
That's a
rounds.
good point.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't think they're gonna change that. Because why would you? Because I think it's fun to.
I wish the men's had it.
I
honestly.
agree with that, actually.
So I think but that's why I think if the men did that, there'd be less Cinderella runs. So I think they're trying to stay away from that.
There'd be no Cinderella run.
Yeah.
Can you imagine who did Duke play in the first round?
Siena.
Siena.
Can you imagine if they had to go in the Cameroon indoor stadium? You're like, it would not have looked like that.
Imagine VCU going to Chapel Hill.
Yeah, exactly.
Like-
It'd be a totally different ball game, and I'm sure the people who are in charge of that know that.
Yeah.
Like they've thought that through. But since it seems like everybody's in unison, in agreement that LSU will be at least advancing to the Elite Eight. For a rematch with UCLA, I think that's kind of the big one that's on everybody's minds. That one I think took a little bit more thinking from me personally. But what do y'all think about that matchup?
I think
Should we even see? Because both of them have to win. But yeah,
you never want to look too far ahead, but we're not coaches, so obviously we're going to. They really need Kate Koval to step up in that game. I thought Kate
Yes.
Koval did a really good job this weekend, but she will have to play the best basketball of her life. They'll also need to see that same energy out of the team. Just the emotions were high, obviously, on Sunday. It was Flage's last game in the PMAC, and everyone kind of rallied around that. It felt like I feel like it's going to have to be something similar where, everyone wants to get over the line. They want to put on the best possible showing for Flage. That's how it felt this weekend. I think it'll happen again in the Elite Eight. Really, I think LSU they do have the best offense in the country. And it just
statistically
at least. And it just will come down to can our post players stop Lauren Betts? And that is not an easy task at all. Isn't it kind of weird that there's like this UCLA LSU rivalry?
It's so
as
weird. Like
she puts
we're
it.
on opposite sides of the country.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty weird.
It'd be the third straight year matching up against them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, I think that happening itself, like I think when you match up with the team 3 straight years in the tournament, in the
Sweet
Sweet 16
or better,
/
yeah.
Elite Eight,
Yeah.
I think it's natural for it to become kind of tense. But yeah, I don't.
And that's
yeah.
that's what you talked about with the LSU brand, how they're the villain now. Everybody's gunning for them in literally every sport. But yeah, I agree with everything you just said. I don't want to look past Duke because obviously you don't want to look past anybody in the Sweet 16. I do think they get that taken care of, and I also think they're beating UCLA just because UCLA said they wanted LSU in their bracket, so that's going to give LSU something to put on all the walls.
You don't need to
Absolutely.
give them anything else
Yeah.
to put on the walls.
Yeah.
And I think it's Flage's farewell tour. Like I do think that they're playing better because of that. Because you could tell like the team loves and rallies around Flage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely. And you brought up a point about Kate Koval, and obviously she's going to be a big factor in this one. But I don't think she has to play like the best basketball of her life, but she's going to have to be very good in her role.
Mm-hmm.
Kate Koval this entire season hasn't been asked to be a scorer, and I don't really see that changing against UCLA.
Yeah.
I think she's just going to be. She's going to have to be a physical presence with Lauren Betts being there. I don't think she's going to be able to just call for the ball, and just because like you can't do that against Lauren Betts. Or you're gonna be chopped cheese pretty much. So yeah, I think it'll come down to that. And also, like, as long as they keep, like, feeding her the ball, allowing her to be effective, allowing her to get to the basket, allowing her to create opportunities for kickouts to threes and stuff like that, I think the offense will take care of itself after that.
Yeah, I guess I should clarify. Defensively, she's going to be a lot more impactful than
sure.
offensively because they just have those. But, I mean, that's what killed them last year was they weren't physical enough in the paint. And I don't want to say it hasn't gotten worse, but it hasn't changed as much as maybe I thought it would this season.
Yeah. We don't have an Anissa Morrow.
No.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to see, like, Grace Knox, she's not as tall, but she is
Physical.
She's physical. She's
Very.
a demon in the paint. When she had that block, I don't know if they showed it on the broadcast, but she had a block in the fourth quarter when they were up like 45, and she just looks at the camera in the PMAC and it's like, no, and everyone just went crazy.
Yeah.
So
It was pretty nuts. And that's stuff like that you only get in the women's tournament. Like,
Yeah.
you wouldn't see that in the men's. But let's get to the men's tournament, man. This is the star of the show right now, the talk of the town, whatever you want to call it. 2 games that one game that I don't want to say made me mad, just the way it ended. And that's the St. John's versus the Kansas matchup. Dylan Darling hits the game winner for his only points of the night. And he did it just in it's a straight line drive, man. Like I just cannot get over that. Noah and I were talking about that, and I just even if I'm not like emotionally invested in the teams, I just hate watching bad basketball. Like that can't happen. He doesn't even like to finish with his right hand.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, I think there was a stat. He's only made 4 right-handed layups in his whole career, and he made a game win. Like that's
It's
and
like-
that was one of
It's
them.
like
Yeah.
Chase Johnston hitting the game-winning
Yeah.
layup, and it's his only 2-point shot of the year. Yeah.
But I think the bigger story surrounding it is what Debanza lost in the first round to Texas. I feel like we should have saw that coming. Though.
Yeah, looking back on it, I mean, he put up 36, but that team just
He put up 36 and they lost.
Yeah.
Like that.
by,
In college, that's not supposed to happen.
and they were never really
in it.
In it, yeah.
Yeah.
And then also with the St. John's and Kansas result, Darren Peterson is also done for the season. In a lot of people's eyes, these are the number 1 and number 2 picks. But I guess the bigger question with Darren Peterson is, we asked this a couple weeks ago. I can't believe we're still asking it. But did this hurt his draft stock? He didn't play particularly well in that game. People still have the injury concerns, and people just have concerns, I guess, over his passion for the game. He didn't seem too much bothered in the press conference after the game.
Yeah. We talked about this on the Sunday show about Darren Peterson. Obviously, I don't know if y'all saw the whole story that came out with why he was injured throughout the year.
I saw he said something like he didn't really feel. He said he didn't like feel like himself until like the end of the season.
Yeah, so I'll do the little cliff notes. So basically, Bill Self has like a boot camp for Kansas, and he got a full body cramp that put him in the hospital for a couple days. And it was a cool video I saw on TikTok, and it was this guy who went through the same thing. And he said whenever he would go out and compete, he played baseball, so it wasn't the same. But whenever he would feel like any sort of pain or anywhere like strain, he would like want to come out because it would be in the back of his mind. Like, oh, I spent 2 nights in the hospital with this.
Yeah.
I don't want to. So Darren Peterson obviously playing at a much higher level, a lot more explosive, that he was kind of being cautious about that. So it was cool to see him be fully healthy, what I thought. He showed glimpses of what he can do when he's fully healthy. And I don't think he hurt his draft stock, but I think he stayed right where it was. I think he'll still be a top 3 pick.
I don't think Darren Peterson had a lot to prove, in my opinion. I mean, I think everyone kind of always, I think he knew in the back of his mind, like, yeah, I'm going on the NBA.
Yeah,
I'm going to
of
be a top 5
course.
pick. Like, what do I really have to lose if I don't play too well? So I don't think it really hurt his draft stock. I think that's maybe why he seemed a little checked out or not to care, because he knows it's not his last basketball game. He's
I also
got his
think
whole
he
career
just
ahead of him.
he's just a pretty like reserved guy.
Yeah. But I mean, you see a lot of like, I mean, there's that viral clip of the dude like, oh, what are you gonna miss most about this team? And he's like,
Team dinners.
going out to eat. Like that was that dude's last basketball game ever.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
at least I believe it was. I could be wrong, but I mean, with Darren Peterson, and it happens a lot. Like it happened with Zion and R.J. Barrett and Cam Reddish when they were at Duke. Like they know they're about to make millions. Like it's hard
already
to
have.
feel.
Now.
But it's hard to feel like really torn up when you know what's next. And so I think that may be the reason there. So I still think he'll be a top 3 pick. I think AJ should be the first overall pick still.
Do you said that too, bro?
Yeah,
Is AJ your number 1? Okay.
So
Well, let's talk about another guy who's
I do. You're about to say Darius Aikoff. I think he has a
yeah. This is another guy.
strong-
Darius
strong-
Aikoff. I don't think he's really in the race for like number 1 pick, but he will be a top 3, top 5 pick. I do think that's pretty much done. But he had a really good showing throughout these 2 tournament games. I think he had like 20 something in the first game, and he had 36 in the second game. He broke like Pete Maravich's record for like most games in your first 2 tournament games. He had 36. But I saw a lot of talk after that game. People saying, "Well, he's not going to pan out in the NBA. He's an undersized guard. He doesn't play defense, right? The guard who can score at will, but doesn't guard the other team's guard." And I guess my question to y'all is just: are y'all buying into this whole thing? Do you think it's really that big of a deal, or is he really just that good?
I mean, the dude scored 80 points in his last 3 games, and those are all. I mean, one was the SEC championship, the other was against Hawaii and High Point. Like, if he doesn't play great defense, I get that, but I mean, he scored 80 points in 3 games,
and
3 very important games.
Yeah,
And, like, the NBA doesn't have a lot of defense. Let's just be honest. Like, they don't play much defense in the NBA.
That's not where you get paid.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think Shea plays much defense, and he's doing pretty good for himself. So, is that
You don't think
is that-
Shea plays?
Well,
defense?
Shea does play,
like
but
Shea plays defense.
not
James
like at an
Harden
elite level,
doesn't-
like elite level?
Well, he never played.
That's
what I'm
defense,
saying.
But
James Harden's probably the better pick for that, but
either him or Luka.
yeah, like he'll be fine. Like Derek Queen, now this is a different side. Like everybody's talking about his defense, but he's doing pretty well on offense, so he makes up for it. I think
Yeah.
A-Cuff's offense makes up for the lack of defense that is said.
Okay.
he has.
Well, do y'all think so? Are y'all banking on the fact that he's going to be this type
Okay,
of scorer
wait.
in the NBA? Because if he's not, then that changes.
I-
If he can still score like this in the league, then yeah,
Yeah, but he
You
could be
can
like
do-
Cam Thomas. Yeah.
or exactly. And you also, well, he's not Cam Thomas, so let me not say that. But like, I think that's the difference maker because he's. I mean, I hope I'm wrong, but like he's not gonna score like this as a rookie in the NBA.
No.
Like it's just not gonna look this easy. So, do you think that changes things, or are you still just pretty confident in like he can score?
I mean, I think he can score still. I think he can shoot the ball really well. I think he can get into the right area for him to shoot regardless of what level he's playing at. But you do bring up a good point. Like, your game doesn't translate immediately. There's still room for him to grow. Same thing with Darren Peterson now that I'm thinking about it more,
Yeah.
like, and all those guys. I just don't feel as worried about the whole defense thing as maybe an NFL or an NBA scout or
I wouldn't even say a scout. This is just it's just
A f-
conversation
yeah.
I see on online.
well, but I'm looking at the stats. Like, I didn't watch the game against Hawaii, but it says he had a steal. He had 7 assists. Like,
He's
to-
a very good playmaker.
to me, it seems like he is a playmaker. His defense might not be as good, but he can still impact the game and make other people around him better. And I think if you're an NBA exec, like, that's what you want to see. I want to see a guy that can come in, and while he might not be putting up as many numbers as he would like, he's still impacting my team, kind of like Jeremiah Fears this year.
I was gonna say,
Like, Jeremiah Fears this year isn't putting up. I mean, now he's starting to put up points, but like when he started, he wasn't putting up points, but he was making the Pels. I don't want to say better because they weren't good, but he was making them like fluid.
yeah, that's actually you took the words right out of my mouth. I was
Sorry.
gonna compare him to Jeremiah Fears with that. But yeah, I'm not worried about him. I think this is one of the most talented freshman classes in a while.
I agree.
Like,
And the Pels don't have a first round pick.
Well, we didn't need to go back to that. All right, they're playing better basketball. They're playing better. They're eliminating, but they're playing better. But yeah, I mean, I think we could see almost all of these guys translate in the NBA. Maybe not, obviously not their first year because that's unheard of.
Right.
I could see them all being maybe all stars or very, very good players in the NBA.
Well, let's wrap up the March Madness talk. Let's talk about everyone's. I know we made a collective bracket, but I want to talk about everybody's personal bracket so far. How's y'all's bracket looking?
My personal one's looking pretty good. I have 12 of the 16 teams in the Sweet 16 right, and I have
Okay.
7 of the 8 Elite 8 still in. All 4 of my Final 4 still in. I picked Arizona to win the national championship over Duke. I am a little worried about that. Duke.
I picked Duke to win the national championship, and I'm kind of regretting it.
I'm a little worried about Duke. I think I had Houston in the Final 4 over Florida. Oh, wait.
Well, Florida's out
No,
of it.
I had Nebraska beating Florida. Yeah, so I feel actually really good about my Nebraska Elite 8 pick here. But I had Arizona playing Michigan in the Final 4, and I had Duke playing Houston. So
Got you.
Yeah. Okay, this bracket says I'm 97%. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't looked at this in a while. But in my main bracket, I have all my Final 4 correct still. With Arizona, Houston, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sorry. Yeah, Arizona, Houston, Duke, and Michigan. Now, like you said, with Duke, I'm a little skeptical about that. I do think that St. John's is going to beat Duke.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
St. John's looked very good. What's the dude's name? Zuby Ejiofor. I think he's legit. I think he can go toe-to-toe with Boozer in a game and let the rest
Yeah,
of the
man.
team eat.
Boozer hasn't impressed me,
No.
man. I'm not gonna lie. He just,
He's hurt his draft stock, I think, in this.
I agree with that.
yeah.
I think he's hurt it, but Caden has risen his draft stock a little bit. But I don't know.
I think Caden could benefit from a second year at Duke.
It won't.
He could.
I don't think.
I don't know if he'll come back,
Yeah.
but I like his game. I think Cam is just. it's just too simple. And even the simple things is sometimes he just isn't effective. Like there was a point during the last game where it was the first half. He just was non-existent pretty much.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't want to get too far into that. But I guess what game are y'all most excited for? I guess I'll go first. I'm personally most excited for this Michigan State and UConn game.
Yeah.
I think what I've watched Jeremy Fears and Cohen Carr do so far, it's just been great to watch, man. I think Jeremy Fears broke like Michigan State's record for like most assists through 2 tournament games. He broke like Magic Johnson's record or something. Cohen Carr's flying all over the place. But yeah, what about y'all?
I'm gonna go in opposite direction here. Nebraska and Iowa. Just
That's a
because it's
pick.
like how like you sit there and you're like, Nebraska and Iowa are about to play in the Sweet 16.
Yeah, I guess 2
Like-
Cinderellas
Yeah.
technically.
Well, but Nebraska's a 4
I
seed.
know, but they
yeah,
came in without winning a single tournament game, and now they're in the Sweet 16.
it's crazy, and so I think in terms of like quality of basketball, that game I really have my eye on, but I'm gonna just be different and take Nebraska and Iowa.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy to think that either Nebraska or Iowa is going to be in the Elite Eight.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how neither of y'all said Arizona versus Arkansas. I think
It's
I
so
mean-
many great games. Like I'm excited for that one.
I'm scared for that one because that's my national champion, and
That's
this is the first time I'm like, all right, hold on.
Yeah, I mean, I think with Arizona's defense and then Arkansas's offense, I think that's going to be a phenomenal game. And then Duke St. John's. I just think that's going to be a great game. There's going to be I think all of them are going to be good, except Iowa State, Tennessee. I actually think that's going to be
I think Iowa State.
Funny enough, that might end up being the best game
might.
just because of
Yeah.
it's just how it tends to work out.
Well, Tennessee's normally pretty competitive in the Sweet 16
tournament.
too. Well, I'm thinking about that Tennessee Purdue game a couple years ago when the guy had the perfect bracket leading up to there, and the game went like double OT with Carson Edwards and all that stuff. So
Shout out to Carson Edwards, man.
Dude, that dude was a baller.
Yeah.
at Purdue. Oh my.
I saw a video about him yesterday, and I completely forgot about him. Man.
Mhm.
Only if he wasn't like 5'8". But let's get to another big topic right now. It is MLB opening day, ladies and gentlemen. When you see this, you'll have a full slate ahead of you. You see Brock is representing Cubs fan. Well, what team are you a fan of? It's the Yankees, right?
greatest team in baseball. 27 World Series.
You know, Yankees. They say all Yankees fans come with like a drawstring. Like you know how Woody the sheriff
Yeah,
comes with the
yeah,
drawstring.
yeah.
That's what Yankees
No,
fans
really.
always say.
It's we get it. We get it, bro.
And we get it.
My
man.
God, it's been 15 years since. No,
I've only seen one.
I think their last was like 2009.
17 years
2009
since the last
against
one.
the Phillies, 6 games. So
Aaron Judge game. What was it? Game 7 in center field.
there's game 5.
Game 5.
Game 5.
We didn't make it to 7.
Whatever it was.
Hey,
mean,
Game 5.
I mean, how'd the Cardinals do last year?
Hey, when was the last time you won a World Series?
all right.
When's the last time y'all played in a World Series?
I'd rather win a World Series than talk about one.
I'd rather win 27, to be honest with you.
I would.
Well, we got-
Bro wasn't here for like
Literally,
We gotta let.
you there for one. Also, I would hot take. I'd rather not make a World Series than lose in the World Series, just as a fan, because that would.
All right, yes, but when you haven't made a World Series since 2009 and you're always in the playoffs and you're the Yankees, like,
I guess.
it's kind of nice to get back to the World Series.
I guess I could see that. I could
Maybe.
see that.
Like, because all that success happened before I was born. As much as I
Yeah,
like,
like all of it.
yeah. So, like
Like all
I'd
of it.
only seen him play in one World. I don't remember the Yankees winning the 2009 World Series. I remember the Yankees losing the 2024 World Series.
I remember the Cubs World Series. Oh my God,
That was one of the
Even
best
I
series.
remember that
That
one.
was actually my favorite World Series of all time.
you and me both.
But I don't know. I guess I got a little fun topic today. With it being opening day, I want to get y'all's best / favorite baseball stadiums in America.
Okay.
Okay, so are we doing this off of like looks or if you've been there? 'Cause I was gonna
Let's
do
go
both.
if you've been there
Okay.
that you've been to.
So I've been to Wrigley, Yankees, Fenway, Atlanta, and the old Texas Stadium. It's probably a tie between the old Ranger Stadium and Atlanta. And I loved Wrigley, but those two stadiums were gorgeous.
Yeah.
I'd probably have to give it to Atlanta though. Like that was just maybe it was the day because I went during a day game, so it was nice outside. But Atlanta's a very very nice stadium.
So unfortunately, despite being a Yankees fan, I've actually never been to Yankee Stadium. It's not by my choosing.
That's embarrassing, man.
I don't want to talk about it. I always want to go. I'm for sure gonna go this summer. Like it's happening this summer. But I have been to see the Yankees play the Braves at the new Braves Stadium, and that was a nice stadium. I looked out to where my uncle's company, they have like, they're not box seats, but they're these like VIP seats down the first baseline or the third baseline, and that day my aunt gave him to. It was me, my aunt, my dad, and my cousin, and the four of us, we went, and it was awesome. The Yankees lost that game, but that's a really nice stadium.
So I think both of y'all said Atlanta Stadium.
Atlanta,
right?
yeah.
I'll go in a different direction. I'll go the Ranger Stadium,
Okay.
only because it's the only one I've been to. I got a chance to go this summer, and that might have been the first time it dawned on me that there are indoor baseball stadiums. Like it just,
Yeah.
it never dawned on me that they can play them indoors as well. But no, it was a really great experience. It was really cool. I can't even remember who they were. I think they were playing like the Mariners or something like
Oh, that must have been a good game.
that. But yeah, that's it for me. But yeah, Noah.
So, I'm going to drop some lore on y'all. My first ever MLB game I went to was 2013. Okay? Very important year for Yankee fans
Mhm.
because that was Derek Jeter's
Yes.
last year. And they were playing at
Number
Globe
two.
Life Field, the old Rangers Stadium. And that was the first baseball game I ever went to. Was Derek Jeter's last game in Globe Life. And Yankees won 2-1.
I'm jealous.
So, Globe Life is definitely up there just for the fact of that.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick one, probably Busch Stadium. Busch Stadium, but Fenway is up there too, for sure. And if I want to go it, like one that I haven't, well, you can stop shaking your head.
It's
Don't-
not
don't
you.
let-
It's
don't let-
not
don't
you.
let the Yankees-
It's just the thought of Fenway Park just makes me mad.
If there's one I want to go to that I haven't been to, though, it's Oracle in San Francisco.
Oh, that'd be really cool because they have that river behind.
Yeah.
All the West Coast.
Or is it the bay? It's the bay, not the river. The bay.
I always hear people throw out Fenway and Wrigley. Like, what is it about those two?
It's just they're
historic.
old. They're
Yeah,
historic.
they're just historic.
Yeah.
Like,
Wrigley-
Wrigley is in a neighborhood.
yeah. it's
Wrigley's got
literally
like a nice center field with like bushes and not bushes.
yeah.
What's it called?
Ivy.
Ivy. Yeah.
Wrigley, I love the Cubs, obviously. Wrigley, the stadium wise, is okay. It's just like,
It's better for the history.
Fenway's
100%.
literally the only stadium with a giant wall in it.
Yeah.
Well, outside of Houston, I guess. But
outside of the other stadium with the giant wall.
well, all right, but there's nothing like the Green Monster. Also, Fenway's like cool because they have like the Green Monster in left field, and then in right field they have
Yeah.
like that weird foul pole, the pesky pole, and
Don't fans sign that? Is
Yeah.
that? Okay.
I
all
signed
right.
it.
Oh, you have? That's cool.
then old Yankee Stadium was awesome. New Yankee Stadium is just
Yeah,
all right. Yeah.
it's just all right.
It's good, but it's not the house that Babe built.
The house
Yeah,
that
you know,
that
I
Babe
got
built.
a question for y'all, actually. So out of all of the stadiums that aren't being used anymore, that might have gotten
Oh,
turned
Polo
down,
Grounds.
Which one would you want
Polo
to go to?
Grounds.
Okay.
Polo Grounds.
Okay. Hold on.
Polo Grounds.
Don't look at it in MLB The Show.
No, I don't-
If
yeah,
a game was played at Polo Grounds, the score would be like 25
Yeah,
to 24.
I think it'd be awesome to go to the Polo Grounds.
I mean, yeah, but the people sitting on the right field and left field would die.
yeah, but
Somebody would die.
I'm
Like, literally.
saying like that's just such a weird stadium that's why I'd want to go.
Yeah.
Like it wouldn't be a good game.
No, not at all. That would be no.
I also hate the Mets.
The bullpens are in the outfield. Like they're literally. Sure. I don't even. I'll probably go old Yankee Stadium. Selfishly.
Actually, I would love to go to Globe Life, old Ranger Stadium.
That was so nice.
Because it's like a whole town in the left field.
Mhm.
It is.
It was nice.
It was pretty weird seeing it. It just this super big building structure that just sitting there. Like it was pretty surreal.
I got two for y'all. First Busch Stadium, legendary, and then the old Twins arena that they played in.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
The
before
first, one of the not the first big wall, but they had
Yeah.
I know, yeah.
You know what stadium is the worst in the MLB?
Tropicana.
Tropicana Field.
Who plays there?
The Rays.
That's the one that got destroyed by the hurricane. And they like tore it down.
That's not why it's the worst, right?
No.
Oh,
No,
it's
it's
just
like
I was about to say that's
no,
kind of
like the ceiling. It's an indoor
It's
stadium, but
indoor.
the ceiling's white. So you like,
Yeah.
I swear to God, and the baseball is white.
It's humid.
So you can
you can't
imagine
see
how-
nothing.
You can't see the ball. It's bad. Atmosphere is not great.
Turf field.
Turf field.
Like there's been like
I also don't like Toronto Stadium, but that's just me.
I get I don't, that's just,
American League
that's
East.
your Yankees
American
bias
League
coming out.
East. Yeah.
But yeah, no, like the Tampa Bay.
yeah.
There's like a clip of a ball, like a fly ball pop up, and I forget, was it Manny Machado?
It
Yeah.
was
Francisco Lindor.
Oh, yeah,
The
yeah.
ball gets stuck in like a catwalk at the top of the stadium, and like he's waiting for
Wow.
it to come down, and it doesn't come down.
So what do you do with that? Like, is it an out? Is it a foul? Oh, okay. I think that's fair.
It happened with that also happened in Tropicana. Prince Fielder hit a ball and it was fair, and it went into the catwalk, but they called it a home run. I think.
Y'all remember when Judge hit in Miami when he hit the ceiling?
Yes.
Like, it's crazy that they play baseball indoors to me. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
In Miami?
In Miami.
that?
Well, they have a retractable roof.
Yeah. Same with the Brewers. I hate the Brewers Stadium. Okay, as a Cubs fan, when they open this, that just reminded me when they open the ceiling and like half of it's shadow, half of it's not. It's like what
The
are we doing?
Diamondbacks have a retractable roof too.
I don't do that.
I think they do.
Oh.
And that stadium is actually pretty cool. Yeah.
No picks for guaranteed rate on the south side of Chicago. Nobody.
You ain't gonna get me to budge.
You're not.
I'm just-
Yeah. Nothing for the White Sox. Nothing.
Well, that's gonna do it for us today here in the
Well,
John Fisher
I
podcast.
got a
studio.
question.
Oh,
I
what's
got
up?
one more question while we're on the topic of MLB.
Stirring the pot like no, for no.
No, but I've probably already stirred the pot. I want to know y'all's World Series predictions.
Oh.
Because opening day the first game is literally in 18 minutes, so I'm just kind of curious.
Dodgers. Nah, I'm just
Yeah.
playing. But Dodgers and I don't know, bro. I don't know that it'll matter. To be honest with you, we were talking about this on the Sunday show a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Probably won't.
Maybe the Yankees would do it again.
I'll go a different route.
I don't want to go through that.
I'll go Mets Royals. I think we get a rematch of 2015. Give me Mets Royals. The Mets are loaded.
Dodgers are making the World Series, but I think it's going to be Dodgers and we'll go Dodgers and Red Sox.
I'd want to see
I don't
that.
know. Red Sox are good. I think they're too young.
No, I take that back. Dodgers Mariners.
That would be a fun one.
Okay.
I try to go away from the Dodgers.
I'm going to also try to go away from the Dodgers.
Yankees.
No. You'll like this.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't want to say the Cubs because
I'm going to say the Cubs. I don't know why. I just have a feeling the Cubs are going to surprise a lot of people this year.
Okay.
They brought in a lot of
So-
And I'm going to say the Mariners.
that would be fun.
I think the Mariners beat the Yankees in the ALCS in some catastrophic Game 7 that makes me never want
You're
to watch
trying to do
baseball
reverse
again.
psychology. That's all this is, man.
And I think the Mariners beat the Cubs in the World Series.
So you said the Mariners. Did you say the Dodgers as well?
Nah, I
no,
said,
you said the
Mets,
Royals
Royals.
and the Okay. And then I'm going the Dodgers versus whoever wants to step up to the plate.
Hey,
But-
the Cubs did have a winning record against the Dodgers last year. Let me put that out there. I promise you that did happen.
Great.
That don't matter when you get
Great. But all right, yeah, man, that's gonna do it from us in the John Fisher Podcast studio this time. Thank you guys for watching. I was your host today, Jaden Smith. Today I was joined by William Gilreath and Brock McMine. Once again, thanks for watching, and this has been the Hodges Huddle.